Mr. B XRP here, and welcome back. Boy, the extreme fear just rose again today. It's at 11. There is so much fear and frustration out there in crypto land, but don't feel the fear. Let's get into the news today. Let's talk about it. Today, I want to talk to you about Capitol Hill is going to have some news on crypto today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about XRP supply shock and some projections. We're going to get into the Bitcoin maxi frustration. Also, a crypto catalyst is potentially on the horizon. A new ETF is being launched today, and MicroStrategies is in the news, and it's kind of weird news. So we're gonna jump right into it. But first, let's look at the prices. Okay, Bitcoin's at 91,700 and 91,802. Ethereum's at $3,008. Tether's holding comfortably at $1, and XRP's at $2.12. So still messy out there on the prices. This was in yesterday. It said, just in, Congressman Warren Davidson says there's big news coming soon from Capitol Hill tomorrow about Bitcoin. So I don't know if this is Bitcoin-centric news, if it might be crypto-centric news, but we're going to keep an eye on this thing, see what the news is coming down from Capitol Hill today, and I'll let you know. So this was posted by Chad Steingraber, and he said, XRP ETF fund 1-year projection, assuming current price, use 7 first phase funds combined, then average up 12 funds for phase 2. So he's done a projection here of how much XRP is going to be soaked up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the, I don't know, I think it's 11 ETFs, XRP ETFs that are coming out. So the first year, 7 fund total is 22 billion. Let's see here, 22 billion. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how he breaks this thing down. Average 5-year fund, he's at 3.4 billion. And then 1 year, 12-year fund total, 39 billion. That would be insane. He says the entire public supply will be gone in exactly 1 year unless the price of XRP dramatically increases to slow the acquisition rate. Those are insane numbers. Let's see here, 100,000 billion, 39 billion XRP. Look, there's only 60 billion XRP currently in circulation. So those are extremely aggressive numbers, but I certainly hope he's right. Okay, this was from Phil Kwok, and he's talking about how Ripple may be using RLUSD as a Trojan attack, right? So here's what he said. This is how the vampire attack begins. Step 1, launch RLUSD on Ethereum. Step 2, get their institutions using it and integrating with it. Step 3, show them how much faster and cheaper the XRP ledger is. Step 4, flip them onto XRP rails. And then he says, congrats, you've just successfully executed a multi-billion-dollar vampire attack on Ethereum. So very, very interesting. It is a great way to get people to use XRP and then convert them to the XRP ledger. And look, I personally think that, and this is my personal belief, is that our RLUSD is going to be used to get institutions used to using digital assets. And I still think that XRP is going to be used in a lot of transactions. Now, look, anytime RLUSD is being used, XRP is being burned, which is always a good thing. But I think some institutions aren't going to want to hold RLUSD, and they're going to want to use a bridge asset, and they might just use XRP as was originally planned. So I still think that's in play. And I've heard David Schwartz and Brad Garlinghouse say that on stage at XRP Las Vegas, that some will use XRP and some will use RLUSD. All right, so this is Raul Paul, and he is obviously very, very frustrated about Bitcoin and how people are acting around Bitcoin and all the frustration out there. So let's hear him.
And we know that TGA is going to be drained, and the QT is going to finish, and the Chinese are increasing their balance sheet, and we got regulatory changes coming, and we got rate cuts coming, blah, 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 blah. And the ISM, the business cycle, follows that. So the next thing for the business cycle is to go higher. Business cycle going higher means we'll have money in our pockets. It goes into risk assets, and that increases the price of crypto. It's not that complicated, but nobody wants to believe it because you're looking at 5-minute charts and scratching your nuts, wondering what's going on.
Yeah,
We know
he's obviously frustrated. Looking at the bigger picture, whenever you feel frustrated, down, or feel like capitulating in the crypto market, you just have to zoom out. And I would suggest you zoom out on the 1-year returns right now. I think that's the best way to look at it. All right, so today, President Trump reiterated that there will be a tariff dividend check of at least $2,000. Let's listen to this because I think this is very, very important for crypto.
We have taken in trillions of dollars, and it's been absolutely amazing. We're going to be doing a dividend to the people, low and middle income, moderate income people, of at least $2,000. In addition to that, we'll be paying down debt very substantially. It's the kind of money we're taking in. And really, countries that took advantage of us are no longer taking advantage of us. Some of our friends treated us far worse than our enemies on trade anyway, and we've got that all straightened out. And everybody's happy. They respect us again. It's like one of those things. I think they like us better, and they actually respect us, and it works out much better for us too.
So the last time we saw dividend checks from the government here in the United States was during the epidemic. I don't even want to say the name. So the health epidemic that we had, and a lot of that money flowed into crypto. So this may very well be a catalyst, another catalyst on the horizon of money coming into crypto. But I think that I don't think this is happening anytime soon. This is certainly going to be next year, at some point next year, and it's going to have to go through lawmakers before it happens. But anytime the government is giving out money, as we saw before, a lot of it ends up in crypto. It'd be really cool if they would just pay it in crypto. That would be really, really neat. So this came out yesterday, just in. Crypto exchange Kraken files for US IPO. I know they've been wanting to IPO for years. So Kraken's going to be IPOing soon. I haven't seen any dates yet, but it's coming down. And Bitwise announced big news. The Bitwise XRP ETF is set to begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange tomorrow, which is today. And their ticker is XRP. Check that out. $XRP. It has a management fee of 0.34%, which is waived for the first month on the first $500,000 in assets. That's going to be fast. This product that brings investors spot exposure to XRP, the crypto asset that aims to modernize global payments. And they seem very XRP friendly over there. Here's why XRP is interesting. It's one of the longest running blockchains with 13-year track record and super vibrant community of supporters. That's you guys. It's the world's third largest digital asset with a $125 billion market cap. It's going after a massive $250 trillion cross-border payments opportunity. It can settle payments in 3 to 5 seconds for fractions of a cent. And for all of you new to XRP, that is one of the most exciting things about XRP. A growing list of assets are being tokenized on the XRP ledger, including US Treasuries, digital commercial paper, private credit, and money market funds. Our mission at Bitwise is to provide access to the most exciting themes in crypto. We're thrilled to launch XRP, bring XRP's potential real-world impact to investors through a professionally managed investment vehicle. So big day today, really big day today for XRP with this going live. And it's so exciting that Ashish Birla, the CEO of Evernorth, is going to be doing a Twitter space, and I believe it's 2 o'clock today Eastern time, with Hunter Horsley, the CEO, the co-founder and CEO of Bitwise. And what I would do is, if you're interested, go to @EvernorthXRP on Twitter, and you can go ahead and set a reminder to watch this. This will be interesting, and I'll certainly be tuning in. And what else do I have here? Oh God, this is interesting. So let's see. Empiri Digital CEO asks whether JPMorgan is trying to force down the price of Master, which is MicroStrategies, by raising the margin requirements from 50% to 95%. Listen to this. This is really weird.
All right, so I learned this really interesting thing over the past couple of days, and I've been communicating with JPMorgan about it over my Bloomberg. But JPMorgan is requiring 95% margin requirement for MSTR stock. Now, why is that? That doesn't make sense. For those that are in the industry, you understand that 95% is really high. For those that aren't in the industry, let's talk about that, right? So 95% means that for $100,000 of MSTR stock, you can only borrow $5,000 dollars against it. So that's really, very, very high margin requirement. So JPMorgan went from over the summer 50% margin requirement to now increasing it to 95%, right? So when you do that, you require people to post cash or post securities against that to increase the value against that security. So you can't borrow as much against it. That begs the question, are they trying to force liquidation of MSTR stock by pushing the margin requirement for 90 to 95%? Are they trying to put selling pressure on it? Over the last month, you've seen MSTR's MNAV contract significantly. And this may be a large reason why. And why is JPMorgan doing that? MSTR's stock doesn't really meet the criteria for requiring 95% margin.
It's. I think we're going to start hearing from Michael Saylor on this. He'll be expressing what his beliefs are on why they're doing it. But very, very interesting what they're doing over there, requiring that. Last thing I want to say is, look, iTrustCapital is one of my sponsors, and they are an amazing company. If you want to put your digital assets somewhere and have them protected with institutional grade custody, check out iTrustCapital. They have institutional grade custody for their retail clients, and you pay zip zero nada for it. It is absolutely free. They call it a premium custody account. You can transfer your digital assets in. You can open up a new account and just start, investing, fresh. You can trade those assets whenever you want. It's a fantastic product. I absolutely love it. I have the majority of my digital assets in my premium custody account. And I also have a Roth IRA with iTrustCapital. And if you don't have a Roth IRA, you should look into a Roth IRA. And if you make too much money to have a Roth IRA, there's a way to still have a Roth IRA. It's called a backdoor Roth IRA. You need to discuss that with the iTrustCapital people. The beauty of a Roth IRA is all of the gains you get after having the account for 5 years or more and being 59 and a half or greater in age are tax free. So if you're betting on the upside of your digital assets, you want to have as much as you can in a Roth IRA. So I have a link in the description of this video. If you'd be so kind to use my link, you will get a $100 funding bonus, and I would greatly appreciate that if you did use my link. And that's it for this one. Look, if you're still here, please subscribe to my channel. You're officially what I call my people. Share my videos with anybody you think might appreciate them. Hit like, and I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Always do your own research. See you next time. Bye-bye.